What's up, everyone? It is me again. I'm back here for the weekly vlog type idea. I'll be honest, I don't really want to be doing vlogs every week, but right now I just don't have anything else to do. Today's different. I do have a bit of a discussion I want to have with people, and I want to hear people's thoughts on it. But to start off, quick updates. Car's running good. I had to make a mild change to the intake, and my 83 BMW is gone. I don't know if many of you knew about it. I don't think I mentioned it often. It was really rough. I was doing nothing with it, so it's gone now finally. Anyway, on top of that, there are a bunch of things coming up soon. So in May. And I do plan on trying to get a hold of my camera guy to give me a hand for doing the next video, the technical video that I want to do. I just recently received my NHRA bronze level certificate for technical inspections. I think that's what it's called, for doing like drag cars under NHRA rulings. Basically, I had to write a test that proved that I know how to read the book, because there's no way you can memorize all of that, because that stuff changes all the time. But so I'm certified. Good job, right? Awesome. Thank you. Anyway, in sight of that, to kind of go along with that, a part of what I'm going to discuss about today has to do with drag racing and probably drift racing, and I guess it's not drift racing, it's drifting and like time attack and any kind of racing like that. People need to stop overthinking their builds. It's a plague on motorsports, especially amateur motorsports. There's so many people that will overanalyze and overdesign and overplan how they want their build to be perfect to do what they want to do. They're spending way too much time trying to make sure they're going to have the most amount of horsepower for the drag races, and they're going to have the best roll cage, and they're going to have this and that and everything else, which is awesome. The downside is if you don't know how to drive it, it's not always going to work out in your favor. And we kind of live in a society now where everyone wants instant gratification, and everybody's trying to one-up somebody else, whether it be new car or old car. Like, you know, someone's got this turbo, or this guy has this turbo and this guy, and some other guy has to put this bigger turbo or whatever. It's a pissing contest, and it's always going to happen. That's kind of what racing is. It's a pissing contest of who's the better driver, or who's got the better car or the better reaction time, everything like that. The downside is when you start just throwing parts, it's kind of like just throwing money at a problem and hoping that it fixes itself. If you do track racing and you go out and you've never taken the car you're building to the track, and you go out and you spend, I don't know, $3,000 on a set of coilovers, and then say $2,800 on a set of bigger brakes, and then spend who knows how much money trying to make more power out of the engine, and then spend a boatload of money on super awesome soft compound compound tires, you're going to have a bad time, because every car handles differently. So yeah, I can understand, like, if you've got an S13 chassis and you lost control and it got pretty badly banged up, and like you lost control, like, you know, you couldn't handle it, but you lost control, you came around a corner trying to go a bit too hard, tire gave out something, and you slid, hit the armor, all, whatever they call that, arm all, and it's banged up, it's not straight, you got to do something. Taking another chassis and swapping all the parts over, fixing anything that's broken, that's a different story. I'm talking about people that are definite amateurs, have basic cars. Like, I'm not saying cars are basic, but going out on the track and not getting any experience. The best thing you can do is seat time. You need seat time. You're never going to know how to react to something until it happens. So if you do wheel-to-wheel racing and you're surrounded by guys with, I guess it comes down to it like this. If you're doing wheel-to-wheel racing, do you feel more confident being surrounded by a bunch of people that have as little as experience as you do, and it becoming a free-for-all demolition derby like a lot of online Forza group racing? Or do you want to kind of be with your buddies in Forza that all kind of know what you're doing. You all kind of have some experience doing it. You go out and you have a good time. It's the same idea as putting a bunch of money and getting better parts into your car, but having no experience. You need to be able to find that limit of your vehicle to upgrade it, I guess is the best way to explain it. Like with my car, it was stock for the longest time. I had it straight piped, and I had super cheap all-season tires on it. And I used to bum around and do stupid things with it because I was young and dumb. But more to the point, before I started really upgrading things, I'd always looked at stuff like, I want lowering springs so my car sits lower. I want better shocks because I want it to perform better. The downside is I never knew how I wanted it to perform to really be able to say if it was going to be better or not. Like, I've got heavier sway bars in the front and the rear. And that's mostly because I think the rears, on the forum someone had posted, hey, go in and buy these sway bars right now because here's the Dodge part number. Dodge has a whole bunch of them and they're selling them like ridiculously cheap. So I went and I bought one. I was like, how could I possibly go wrong? Because it's an OEM upgraded sway bar that was like, I think it was under $20 or something. So it's not exactly, it wasn't a bad idea. So I threw that in, and then I started to notice that, hey, it feels a little bit tighter for cornering. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then things kind of progressed, and I got better and better at it. And I'd always wanted to do track racing, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. And the first time I finally got out to go track racing, I had Nitto NT05 tires, and I had Hawk HPS pads, and power slot front rotors, and slotted rear rotors. I think they're just a Napa grade premium ones, whatever. And then I had lowering springs, H&R lowering springs, and I had KYB GR2 struts. And so I'm out on the track, and I'm slow as hell because I had the factory seat in here. And so I'm going around corners, and I'm like one-handing, dead center, dead man at the top of the wheel, looking like a douchebag, trying to hold my ass into the bottom of the seat with my other hand, trying to keep me from being slammed into the door when I'm trying to corner. So I didn't go back because I wasn't having fun, and I was like, I need a seat. I had to do something about it. I had this seat, I bought it cheap, made the arrangements, got it installed. Next time I went out, car ran faster. I had a lot more fun because now I'm not holding on for dear life to the bottom of the seat, so it was actually enjoyable for me. I do plan on going out more again this year now that I've got the turbo on it because it's a bit more fun to drive it. So, but there's so many people out there that I understand everybody's going to put a cold air intake kit on. Everybody wants a different exhaust system. The things with those is they don't change a whole lot. They change the noise your car makes. They don't usually make a whole lot of extra power. I'm not being a dick. If you look into it, the horsepower changes, claims that a lot of companies make for the products usually aren't true. And that just goes for everybody. Like that's just how it is. Like there's nothing else I can say about that. But aside from that, the issue is people are trying to just throw money at it to make their car better when their skill isn't at that same level. You can't. A lot of people, when you're starting out, you're not going to outperform the limitations of the factory specification equipment. And it's just the truth. Like if you don't have the skill, I guess it's skill, talent, whatever you want to call it, if it doesn't meet the equipment you're using, it's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym and just put on the heaviest weights and just deadlift it all day. You got to work up to that limit. You got to condition your body. You have to train. You have to get to that point. You can't. It's the same thing with cars and racing. You can't just throw on the best of the best and then expect you're going to be faster, because you need to overcome the limitations of what can happen at the factory. Like, it's one thing to be able to drive the car at its absolute limit, which is where you will extract the most the best potential out of any vehicle is at its limit. If you can't get to that limit, you're not going to get it to be any faster. The thing with upgrading parts is that just increases the limit, like that increases the cap of that limit that you're trying to meet. So what needs to happen is we need to just stop focusing on, I guess what we need to do is people that are into racing, like I am, like I do the drag racing and I do the road course. I want to get more into road coursing this year. I missed all of last year, but that's because we were doing the stuff to my car. So that was that. So what we need to do as racers is we need to sit down with people that are interested and like that are kind of interested and just talk with them and just explain, it's really easy. Like, I was talking with a guy the other night and he was talking about coming out to the test and tune, like coming out to the drags. And I said, to be honest, come out for the test and tune because it's a lot less hectic. You'll get a lot more runs and you'll have more fun. And I said, and it's really simple to pass tech. Like, don't be leaking anything for street class. Like, if it's a street driven car, don't be leaking anything. And you don't need to have the best power. You need a helmet. Just like if you can, like, as long as the car's in decent enough shape, we're gonna let you run, and you can make passes after pass after pass and have fun. To come out for the main event, it's a lot more hectic. There's a lot more going on. You're not gonna have as many passes, and it's a lot more competitive. So, whereas at the test and tune, you'll be able to walk up to guys and be like, "Hey, look, what do you suggest I do?" Because like, hey, I'm trying to learn. What can you give me suggestions? We as racers need to embrace these people that are coming up to us and explaining to them, yeah, you don't need the best of the best. You don't need to have the $6,000 turbo kit to be able to race here. You just need to come out and have fun, which I think is a lot of people are forgetting. Is it's about having fun, and we just need to go out and have fun, and people need to see us having fun, and we just need to have a good time, and more people will come to it. I've seen so many posts on Facebook lately where people are like, someone was commenting, Formula One. He was at a Formula One race, and he's like, there's like no one in the stands, and everybody's like, well, when you're in the stands, you only get to see one, maybe two corners. You don't see all of the race. Whereas now with live streaming and everything else, it's so much different. The downside is on live stream, it's usually the top echelon of people you see. Like, you see the top racers. You don't get to see the amateur guys coming out and having fun. And we really need to start embracing those people and bring them into it that want to come out and have fun and have a good time, and just let them, like, bring them out, set it up so it's like, all you need for your tech is to just kind of, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Bring your street car, learn how to drive. Like, make it affordable too. I guess not, that all depends. Like, we can't do everything. We can make it affordable, but we can't make it cheap. Like, I understand clubs need to make money, but we need to, if they're going to ask questions, we need to be able to just answer questions for them as best as we can. And if we can't, we need to take them to someone who can. I think that's what we really need to do, is we need to stop focusing on, we get a lot of flack from everything else as racers. We get a lot of flack from the general population because our favorite hobby and our favorite thing to do in the world is loud, it's obnoxious, and it pollutes the environment, and they've got about 100,000 things that they can say that they don't like about what we do. We need to stop being so inclusive and help bring people back into it. When young people are interested in it, we need to just embrace it and just say, yeah, like, come on out, like, check it out. Like, that's what you need to do. Just come out, check it out, explain it really as simply as possible, and just have fun. That's the biggest thing we need to do, is we need to just kind of show the people that we're having fun. This is probably going to go up raw. I don't think I'm going to bother doing a bunch of editing for this one, because I don't have a whole lot to edit out. There's some pauses, but I just wanted to say that, like, we need to focus on having fun, and we need to focus on being able to talk to people that are interested in becoming members or joining or getting into racing and stuff like that, because a lot of us are old. And as much as we don't want to admit it, we're not going to want to continue racing forever. Eventually, one day, we're going to be changing how things are. Priorities are going to change. And we need to just accept the fact that things are going to change. And it sucks, guys. But we need to just work together and just make it fun for everybody, not just for us. I got nothing else to say. I kind of ranted. It's a bit of a rant. It's not so much of a rant, but if you liked, subscribe, share the video, share it around. I do plan on getting down to it. I do plan on doing like an NHRA basic tech for like more of a street legal type idea, like kind of going over, like I have an idea. I'm going to use the boss's car. We're going to go through it, like not through his, but we're going to show you, like I'll have my car cleaned up and I'll show you some things on there for doing tech and stuff. So I do plan on getting that together. I got to get a hold of my camera guy to do it, so it's hard to do both. So that's why I do a lot of these. Still interested in features, so if you are interested in feature, hit me up. I've got a few things lined up. I'm just waiting on the weather to fully cooperate, and when I'm not busy, I've got a bunch of other stuff going on right now too that I'm trying to get a handle on. So as soon as we got everything's like good to go, things will start to change a lot, and then it'll get better, and hopefully the channel gets better and grows and gets bigger, and I'll do more things with more people, and we'll see a bunch of cool cars and go to cool events and stuff. But I guess that's it for today. I just had to kind of rant and vent about racing in general, because a lot of guys, I'm always seeing them talking about, I've had people come and ask me that know that I race, that know I'd race this car, and ask me, do I need a roll cage to race? So we need to start getting rid of like false information that's out there. We can't get a handle on all of it, but we got to do something. Like if you liked, share if you want to share it. It helps me out a ton. You guys are great. All